It's John here, Crypto Compassion. Just coming to you from Oregon. I'm here at the lake over on the Oregon coast. Just enjoying this beautiful weekend. Super stoked about Pulsechain, Hex, Pulsechain, all that kind of good stuff, you guys. I've been real busy with real estate, working on that fresh capital, bringing to our beautiful ecosystem. I'm looking forward to everything that we're building on Pulsechain. So enjoy this beautiful 4th of July weekend. We sacrifice for freedom of movement and freedom of speech. And here in the United States, we are celebrating our independence and celebrating our freedom, you all. All right, you guys, take care. Have fun. Peace.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token channel. Your host Superman in the house. And of course, many of you probably be recovering from the 4th of July parties. And a big shout out to Crypto Compassion there. I saw him in the chat, so I had to play his video one last time. A really cool video, and what a great place. And lovely words from there from Crypto Compassion. So very, very cool. Let's see who's in the chat, of course. Who is here? Never fear. And of course, with the title of the video today, Pulsechain is growing fast, spread the word. And so we're going to get into that with some of Richard Hart's updates. So look forward to that a bit later. After we get through the introduction. So we'll get into all that. What else? We're going to get up to here. We're up to Lies Beneath in the house. So let's get in there. Welcome to the chat. Of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and smash the like button and get into our Discord. Our Discord is free. So Discord is free. Get in there. And we've got a great community as well. Lies Beneath, how are you today? Very good. It's pretty sunny outside. I mean, it's winter down here in New Zealand at the bottom of the world, but it's actually not a bad day today. I'm going for my walk afterwards, so it'll be day number 3, and it's an hour and a quarter walk, so it's a pretty decent walk. And then I've just got to do a couple hundred days of those, and I'll be like Sandy Beach, sitting on the beach. So it's going to be cool. Hex, EHEX, PLS, PLSX, incentive for the win, 100%. Richard Hart's cryptos are really the gold standard crypto, and you guys are all here early. And we're going to talk about how early you are and how fast Pulsechain is growing, and some of the things that are coming up as the Pulsechain ecosystem moves into its next big waves. We've started off in the small wave, then the medium wave, and we've got the big waves coming up. So it's going to be a lot of fun for those here early. Sandy Beach in the house. Good to see Sandy. Hexkin Papa as well with the rockets and the moon bags. I like that. I can relate to that as well. Wookie says no one is faster than a Wookie on Wookie running Wookie Run. No one is faster than Wookie Run, Wookie Run. Except for the Flash, Wookie. Except for the Flash, maybe Superman as well. Maybe Superman. We got Archipelago in the house as well. Hi, all. Good to see Archipelago. And Arthur Walsh as well. G'day from Brisbane, Vegas. Good to see you, Arthur. Brisbane, Vegas. Yeah, well, that's the intro in the video is Vegas, isn't it? Las Vegas. So we can have Brisbane, Vegas too. D-Hex in the house as well. Hello, Hexkins. Good to see you, D-Hex. Detached Soul. Yo, 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 yo. Excavator as well. Howdy, folks. Good to see you too. Who has jumped in? Harry Williams. Yo. Hello, everybody. Big shout out from Harry. Christian as well. He is late. Yeah, actually, pretty early, actually. You're saying I'm late? I'm probably late because I did start off about maybe 30 seconds a bit behind time. Thanks, Superman, for bringing it every day. Yeah, if you love content on Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex, and many other topics in crypto every day, you've come to the right place. We're on every single day, live streaming. So it's pretty cool. Refined as here as well. Hello, wahoo. And Rev 10 as well. Hello, folks. Sup, Superman. Good to see Rev 10. Hex enthusiasts. Yes, Superman. Have got lots of people in the house today, so good to see you all. A few names I haven't seen for a little while, so it's good to see you in the house as well. Charity's here. Hello, everybody. Good to see you, Charity. Quite a few Hex Token channel members in the chat as well, I can see. In fact, it's looking pretty good, actually. I'm looking over at the chat here on my other computer screen, and yeah, quite a few in the house. Who else is in here? We've got Brennan as well. Good to see you, Brennan. One moment caller. That's something I say a lot too when we're in Discord and some of the chats. 1 moment Discord caller. Hello, Hex Token, everybody from Sandy Beach. And if you haven't followed Sandy Beach on social media, follow her. She's heading up towards, I guess you must have hit 3,300 followers on Twitter now, but does a lot of cool stuff around daily health updates for Pulsechain community. So definitely, if you like to think about, want some ideas in the health space, then Sandy Beach is definitely somebody to talk to. Dave Downloader says the bull run is not that far away. Patience is the key. That is true. And Blobfish King as well is in house with all those emojis. Look at that. That's the Hex Token emojis. Now, if you want to get access to those. Just become a Hex Token channel member. They're pretty modest prices. We got Pulsechains, Hexkins, and Richard Hart Club, 3 different membership types. Get in there if you'd like to support our daily live streams. What else? We got a few other comments here. Let's jump down there. Sandy says, my legs are very sore today from doing the stairs yesterday. Yeah, stairs would be a bit of a tough one in the old exercise routine. Western decline in House of Superman never takes a day off. Woohoo! Yeah, I try not to. I try to be absolutely consistent. I mean, I think there's been one day I was off one time at band camp. I think it was at band camp this one time. But hey, I try to not be off at all. That's for sure. Sandy's got her Twitter account there, Sandy Beach _369. And of course, 369 there, the inflation rate for Hex. So nice one there, Sandy. Very, very clever. And if you want to get some exercise routines, definitely follow Sandy there as well. And exercise, Hexercise, with the extra H on there is nice. It is indeed. All right, let's get into it, folks. Richard Hart's updates. And of course, we're going to start off with this one. You really see Vitalik promoting ERC20s. He primarily owns Ethereum. And when people buy ERC20s, they're not buying ETH. So why would he hurt the performance of what he owns? Even worse would be if people sold ETH to buy ERC20s. Selling is worse than not buying. Many should learn from him. So that is about 15 hours ago. Promoting ERC20s to people not yet using Ethereum is far less likely to hurt the price than promoting them to those who already use Ethereum because they don't have any Ethereum to sell and they might buy some. Promoting, of course, promoting ERC20s to people that are already holding a large amount of ETH is bad for the ETH price. Think about what you can personally learn from this. So there are some pretty big exclamation marks there. Think about what you can actually personally learn from this. And then, of course, Richard says, so how might someone promote Ethereum using ERC20s features without risking large ETH holders dumping their ETH to buy the ERC20? By isolating large ETH holders from marketing and targeting precise new users only. So this is a bit of a pivot here from Richard, of course, what we've had the last couple of weeks. Quite a delicate task. Probably one Vitalik Buterin would be the worst guy to try and do it because all his followers are probably the most likely in the world to hold ETH already. So a bit of a parallel to Richard Hart, right? Talking about his own coins, PRC, his own, what do we call it? Pulsex and incentive token, Hex, and of course, Pulse itself. What can you personally learn about targeted, precise messaging? Of course, yesterday we saw him tell his community to target other people, for other people to target other communities. But of course, he will be promoting his own tokens moving forward. So we've seen some experiments from Richard. We've seen some learnings from Richard, and of course, a bit of pivoting now as well. KDP says targeting is the community. They need to outbound message, and of course, that's part of today's title, right? Today's Pulsechain is growing fast, but spread the word. The community needs to spread the word. Of course, they need to outbound message, make friends in the space. They need to go to Twitter Spaces and talk to NFT bros, in my opinion. And please don't think I'm trying to make you work for us, but if you want to do something, just jumping in Twitter Spaces to talk about what is Pulsechain and why it's cool. That will grab attention and new combers, I guess, and newcomers' interests of others. So a few other people there putting in some ideas like KDP. Wow. So we got Max Payne in here. I think what you did with Pepe was brilliant. Many of the top holders dumped their bags and left without a thanks. They're gone. And it's happening in just hours. Now Pulsechains inherit their own Pepe community and can realistically overtake Pepe on ETH. And that's the other side of the coin, right? So we're going to watch that as well. So very, very cool. You got to remember, Pulsechain is a full system state copy of Ethereum, and of course with a few superior features like 10-second block times, and of course a bigger burn as well, 25% bigger burn. So pretty awesome. And of course, Pulsex is a super DEX on there, way outdoing with the buy and burn on there too. So there's lots of cool things as well as the incentive mechanism. So some nice little insights there. I'm sure there's many more below that, but definitely pretty cool. Updates there from Richard about 15 hours ago. Or should I say 19 hours ago? 19 hours ago, that one. All right, so 17 hours ago, we then had this from Richard. Promoting PLS, Hex, and PLSX is awesome. Promoting other PRC20s is much less awesome. But it's all awesome, right? It's just a matter of degree. It's bearable if it's to people that don't already own PLS, Hex, PLSX, and incentive token, but only if holders of PLS, Hex, and PLSX don't see it. The precise targeting of messages is easier in direct messages. I will just focus on talking about things I found. So nice words. It's going to talk about his for tokens, and obviously Pulse is a coin there. So pretty cool there from Richard. That is updates from him. So that is all about the community getting out really and spreading the word about these other projects. Now, basically just highlighting if there's a new farm up for Link, tell the Link community about it. If there's a new one up for, we're trying to do a lot of onboarding, a lot of option, a lot of adoption, and of course, growing, helping the speed of Pulsechain grow even faster than it already is. So pretty cool. Get out there and spread the word. We want to become the biggest crypto community on the planet. We want to take over DeFi. There's lots of big themes happening at the moment. So that's kind of cool. Now, this is a real little insight here for Richard's thinking here. Pro tip: to learn what's truly true, you must test your theories. Sometimes you can't guess your way to greatness. Of course, this was on the 30th. He followed it up with good data was found, adjustments made. I love that. I love that. Isn't that cool? No comments allowed on there, but that is pretty insightful. And I think we may be seeing a little bit of that in the farms, the way the farms are being set up as well on PulseX. So here's the farms at the moment that we've got set up with. These are some of the early incentive mechanisms that Richard has to encourage price discovery in the PRC20 copies of the ERC20 copies that people got airdropped on the 10th of May at 10:36 UTC time. And of course, you can see some of the plays that we've had recently. Obviously, we wanted to get the stable coins, and early, we also want to support PLSX and Pulse as well. And then, of course, bring in some ETH as well from Ethereum. So we want to bridge that into Pulsechain to beef up the Pulsechain side and get people playing on Pulsechain as well. There's a couple of different outcomes from that. Then, of course, we saw the incentive token there to give some use case for the last mile token, which is the incentive reward. That's what incentivizes people's behavior. And then, of course, then we started seeing the big PRC20s start getting incentivized. We got wrap Bitcoin there. But we've got different combinations of wrap Bitcoin. We've got the classic setup, as they call it. We've got the wrap Bitcoin and wrapped Bitcoin on Pulsechain, so the Pulsechain copy. And then we've got wrap Bitcoin from the ETH and with Pulse there. So that's getting incentivized too. So a nice little combination there. And then, of course, then we saw Pepe from Ethereum, Pepe LP, and Pepe from Pulsechain and wrap. So we've got two different setups here, but nice little testing going on as well as price discovery, right? So two different formations there. One with the wrap Bitcoin from Ethereum, and of course this one here, Pepe with Pulse instead. So the Pulsechain version getting priced up. Some little experimentation there, and different multipliers in the farms as well, and some changes in the multipliers in the farms. So we see that there's some testing going on. This is kind of how I key this back into some of the testing of the theories there, as well as obviously incentivizing adoption. And then, of course, we started to see some change in behavior as well. We just said the single pools jump in there, one for Link and then one for Uni. And that's what we haven't seen one overnight, a new one overnight, but suspect we'll see some more of these popular PRC20s. And of course, that's why we've seen speculation at least 2 days ago on a lot of these PRC20s as people were accumulating. And some of them are not really coming back down because people expecting some of these farms to come. And I think they'll be right about that. But this is pretty much we're at the moment Link. So we've actually seen a little bit of a strategy change in here as well. And now we've got Uni and that from Ethereum. So bridging over that seems to be the main play there. So the people from those communities come over to Pulsechain and get to participate by getting these beautiful APRs they won't be able to get anywhere else. And also get some more Pulse there and get a taste, get a flavor of the awesomeness and how fast Pulsechain is going to grow. So it just speeds that up. So lots of cool things happening in space. And there's going to be lots of more coming up as well. So very exciting to see that. All right. So that is the last big update there. We've got a couple other comments here as well. 16 hours ago, a dumb idea. If everybody in the world makes their own coin, no one's coin ever goes up in value. Middlemen get rich as people try and exchange billions of different coins versus each other. But since they're all worth nothing, even the middlemen can't make anything. Concentrated power wins. I like that. I like that a lot. Right, so that's from Richard. We're going to get back into Richard's later at the end of the live stream, see whether he's got any other updates, and cool to see. So hopefully you guys are earning nice, sweet rewards in the old incentive pools there as well, providing liquidity. Now, obviously, on there's two versions of PulseX. Version 1 has got all the farms in it, and all the fees that go from liquidity providing all go to the buy and burn. And then, of course, there's version 2, which at the moment there's no farms on there, but if you provide liquidity, you get 0.22% of all the fee trading there. So it's quite a little lucrative little earner. And you can go to the info tab and have a look at some of the earners in the pools there at the moment, just by going down to the top pools. And you can see the LP rewards in there and get an idea of what the rewards are through some of these pools. Some of them are pretty lucrative as well. So nice. Sometimes just you can bridge in some of those copies, particularly on V1 and maybe on the V2 versions, some of the V2 version pools. and pair them up with your own Bridgeton stuff, and of course start earning some nice fees on that. Pretty cool. So some good options there for you to think about in terms of earning nice yield, which is what a lot of people are after. All right, so that brings us into NFTs. But before we do that, should we talk about that first? I'm not sure. Well, let's talk about NFTs. Let's do NFTs first, because NFTs, of course, we're talking about the big. We had a couple of big collections launch, and we had Pulse Punks. We've had Pulse Funks. There's another big collection out there at the moment as well. I just can't remember the name. And of course, we've had some individual ones as well, like Pulse Kittens, sort of NFT, DeFi, that sort of thing out there. So we've got NFTs are growing, but we've also got, obviously, we've got NFT markets coming. So we talk about the big 3 DeFi projects that are coming, and probably month 3. We're in month 2 at the moment. And of course, we talked about that in month 3. And at the moment, we're on day 54 at the moment. So we're on day 54. We're about to start day 55. And some people think that day 55 is going to be magical. So some people talk about RH, talking to them in a Twitter space or something about that. I have not seen it as source. I'm just spreading something I can't confirm. But we're on the end of day 54 on Pulsechain. So this is still month number 2. We're about to start day 55. Will we see something magical on day 55? We'll see. We'll be able to talk about it tomorrow if something does happen on day 55. But I see people in the Discord talking about day 55. So we'll see whether that's a particular turning point for us. Maybe some of the prices there in the old chart. So we'll see on that one. It's going to be pretty interesting. We're about to start it in probably about 7 minutes or something. So that'd be pretty cool to see. Now, what I was going to talk about is I want to talk about NFT markets before I get into the prices. Is that we're going to have not only we have the big 3 DeFi ecosystems to launch probably in month 3, possibly some of the ecosystem launching in month 4. So month 3 and 4 is probably the play, but expecting quite a bit to launch in month 3. We're thinking of Liquid Loans, thinking of Power City, both forks of Liquidity. Of course, Power City, both of them have ecosystems, so they're offering Oracle. Liquid Loans offering Oracle services, multi-sig services, and of course, Power City offering a lot of things like aggregators, optimizers, its own fork of Liquidity, of course. Both of them offering stable coins, so we've got lots of stuff coming, and heavyweight stuff, the big stuff, the top tier projects launching in probably month 3, month 4. And then, of course, we've also got the PH ecosystem, including Famous, a fork of GMX, a Fiat fork of Aave. So we've already got P-Hux out there with fork of Balance is already operating. So this, these big ecosystems that are dropping, these big project teams. But we also got the big NFT marketplaces coming. So the big 3, and the big 3 may be big 4. And we've talked about this in the past, that there may be 4 or 5 big marketplaces. We've been obviously covering the big 3. This is the Power City, got their own NFT marketplace. Out of Pulse got the NFT marketplace with their Sacrifice open. And of course, we've got Mintra as well there from Gerardo. So we've got those big 3. But we obviously got 1 or 2 other NFT marketplaces that might be quite big. And one of those, of course, is Hocus Pocus. And they've given an update today on Hocus Pocus here that we are working on our marketplace to trade boosters and cauldrons for free. Magically, we have also indexed 127 million other NFTs on Pulsechain Network. And obviously, that is huge. So we may see some exciting stuff come from the Hocus Pocus team. And of course, who wants a free copy of Bored Ape on Pulsechain? And of course, you can see some of the teasers there. So as I say, Pulsechain is just ramping up. So we're only on day 54. We're about to jump to day 55. As I say, we've got we've got some pretty big things. We've had some decent middle-sized projects launch. Thinking of Daytona Finance, which seems to be operating okay so far, and we've had a few others out there as well. What we had Privacy Hub out there, and so forth. So there's a few that's been operating. I think at least 3 or 4 middle-sized ones, and of course we've got the big ones coming out in month 3, month 4. And of course, that would include not just the big 3 DeFi, but maybe 3 to 4 big NFT marketplaces as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun in the PRC 721 space. We're always talking about PRC 20s or ESC 20s equivalents, but we also got the big NFTs coming, 721s, and that's going to expand pretty strongly as well. So it's exciting to see. So we'll keep a tab on this 4th player in the market there, Hocus Pocus. And of course, you can see they've got almost 3,000 followers on Twitter, and of course they're moving along pretty nicely as well. So we'll be watching that on Hocus Pocus if you want to keep looking at them. Now, once again, whenever you're interacting with any of these, it's always good when they do launch to get the Pulse Police to make sure that the contracts are all good, that you feel comfortable covering that. So yeah, let me know in the chat there if you know much about Hocus Pocus, but definitely we've seen its name around for a long time. So see how that goes. I just see that we've got a couple of people been here for a few months, so let's go into those. We've got Clintrons, member for 1 month. G'day, Hex Token crew. Hey, Clintrons, good to see you. Or am I having trouble with my internet connection? Not sure what's going on here. Hopefully you guys can still see me. Let me know if my internet connection's okay. I'm just getting a comment here on the studio. And of course, a big shout out to a Christian as well, as member for 5 months. Use the power of T-shares, 100% there on that as well. Let me just test this here. I'm going to test the chat. I hope that goes well. It's going through fine on there. It's just the studio that's having trouble. So cool. Let me know in the chat there if you can still hear me. Oh no, there's an error there. Oh, are you kidding me? Let me have a look there. Looking for networks. Looks like I've got some issues here with the internet. So hopefully that's gonna set itself. That's the first time for a very long time. All right. Let me have a look here. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can still hear me. Just go, yes, we can. Yes, we can hear you. See, I've still got video feeding through. Looks okay to me. All right. So I'm not sure what's happening here on the studio. I don't want to refresh that. Can hear you. Oh, Tom Boss says can hear you. You finally, thanks, Tom Boss. Appreciate that. Yeah, something wrong with the internet connection there on my side. I'm not sure what was happening there. Maybe it just fell out for 30 seconds or something like that. So there we are. All right, cool. That is Hocus Pocus. That is really the only project to talk about today. But having another big NFT marketplace that's going to index all the NFTs on the planet Ethereum that got copied over to Pulsechain. That's going to be cool. There's going to be more communities to reach out to. So looking forward to that. All right, so let's get into the overview of the prices at the moment. Now working, yeah. I got tripped out there for a second. It was pretty crazy. Chat kicking back some errors there. Yeah, pretty weird. You guys know normally I've been pretty good with the internet. But I think it was maybe 6 months ago I had a little bit of trouble as well with the internet, especially with the old software I used to use, EV Max. That was a problem. All right, so we've got Pulsechain at the moment at 000917. Hopefully you guys heard what I was talking about there on the old Hocus Pocus and the NFT. So there we go. We got 000917, price down 1% at the moment, 8% discount from Sacrifice. We got the burn rate there still sitting at 134. I'm not sure what's going on with that number, but it just seems to be stuck in that number there. We got Pulsex there at 000289, down 3.2%. So a bigger move than Pulse there, quite a bit. And look at the ratio of one Pulse to Pulsex. With one Pulse will get you 3.18 Pulsex at the moment. Amazing, honestly, really amazing. We've got the Sacrifice prices also, 71% below the actual Sacrifice price. So this could, we're only on day 54. We're getting price discovery going on, and of course we typically see the price do go up pretty high at the beginning and then come back down, and you hockey stick up the other side. So we're looking, maybe day 55 is the turning point. We will see on that one, but the burn rate is going up pretty nicely. 225 billion burned. 1.08% of the public supply of Pulsex is already gone. So eventually the market's going to price that stuff in. So stay tuned. As long as volumes keep up, and of course volumes are just only going to grow, as I just talked about earlier, because it's just going to keep going up and away. All right, so cool. We'll try and do more on that. We're going to do more due diligence on the whole Hocus Pocus later on, so we'll talk about that another time. But I just wanted to talk about that being number 4, big marketplace, and of course they're indexing all millions and millions, tens of millions of NFTs, so lots of fun there. Incentive token is up 3.6%, down 3.6%. They're at $5.33, but the ratio is what we've been looking at, 58,245. We have had a breather in the old ratio of incentive tokens, so we did see it. Surprise. So the market's not wanting to sell down their incentive tokens at the moment for Pulse. So we've got 58,245 Pulse at the moment. So interesting. That's definitely breathed. We'll see that in the chart when we look at in a minute. And the supply at the moment, 4.6 million is the supply at the moment on the old incentive token. I've got a bit of a different view. Now, 3.2 million incentive tokens are in the liquidity pool compared to its total supply of 4.6 million. Looking at Hex, Hex has been a pretty good performer, I think. I mean, I know it's down on an absolute level, is down on the low end, but it's actually performing pretty well in the old Richard Art tokens. We're at 0.143 cents, so 1.43 cents on Pulsechain, and one Pulse, get this, one Pulse will get you 150. Well, sorry, 1 hex will get you 156 pulse. Pretty amazing. Will it head up to the testnet value of 200? We will see. But at the moment, the hex is the boss man there. And of course, if you add that up with eHex, we got the price of eHex at the moment at 0.0076. You can see that down the bottom here, 0.0076. And of course, wow, a ratio of 1 to 1.882. Amazing. That's like 50, what did I say, 52%, something like that. We'll see that on the chart as well. But combined hex is at 2.19 cents, which is actually holding up pretty well, folks. And I still think the argument about eHex, pHex with that ratio, I know it's 1 to 1.88 at the moment, or 53, and it's pretty dramatic ratio, but it's not over yet. It's not over yet there. So we'll be watching out for that. As I say, the eHex pool is a smaller the pool, potentially could be pushed higher, especially later on. So we will see whether that's game over yet on that. So let me know in the chat there if you agree, because I still think we need a bit more time. How much more time? How much more time? Do we say 6 months? Do we say 12 months? Do we say 5 years? I mean, how much time is to decide? Let's say 6 months. Let's say 6 months, and we'll see how we go over that period of time. Yeah, at the moment, pHex is obviously winning on the old price and adoption numbers. So adoption numbers, we already knew that was going to be in the bag because it's cheap on Pulsechain, all that good stuff. It's cheap to onboard people, cheap to in-stake, of course. Although Ethereum fees have been a lot lower, so it hasn't been so dramatic in staking. Although obviously it's many times higher, 200 times or something higher than the Pulsechain. But in absolute terms, hasn't been. Because of gas prices, except for yesterday when the old Jack Levin launched his little VPMX vampire on the Ethereum chain. He vampired it, and of course made Pulsechain look even better because the Gwei went up into 40, 50, 60 and higher Gwei, and of course we covered that yesterday. Now that minting started to move on, but we'll talk about that maybe a bit later. We got liquidity at the moment is moving along, so we're looking good there on the old Hex there. And we're looking forward to that on the up. If we get, what am I saying here? If we get crypto breaking out, I actually didn't pull up the crypto chart, so let's do that on the old heat map and pull it up. So BTC taking a bit of a breather. I thought we were going to get that, hoping to get that breakout to 33,000. We got over 31,000, but we're back down towards the important line, 30,500. Down 1% today, down yesterday a little bit too. We got Ether at $909. So they're making it harder on us. They're making it harder on us to get that mini bull run, right? We want the mini bull run to 40K. That's what we're after there. And $909 on ETH. We got XRP there as well. And XRP, not sure when their court case comes out, but people are getting pretty bullish about the outcome of that. So XRP talking about 90 cents, something like that. We'll see whether that happens. But definitely a bit of a cooling off again today, second day in a row at the moment. All right, so that is pretty much that. Let's get into the validators. Validators here, 734. Oh my goodness, look at this, folks. OMG. Confidence is high in Pulsechain. 734.7 billion pulses now staked, and we've jumped. The validators are jumping as we speak there. I should stop talking about it. I should stop talking about the validators because people keep jumping on there. And hey, look, the APR there's going to get impacted eventually. We're at 22,958 validators. We've got 320 entering. Look at that. Look at the jump up. Look at that crazy thing. Look at that upward trend there. The trend is your friend. Now, the APR is at 21.7%. So still very, very good. And, of course, that's equivalent to about 159 billion pulse in revenue there. So pretty crazy. Let's add the globe on. You can see the globe there. Look at that. People around the world. Pulsechain is truly decentralized. And, of course, the official Pulsechain team that launched Pulsechain has removed their 4,096 validators. And they burnt all their pulse on the way out. So, see ya. Off to Bora Bora with the rest of us later on in the year. But that's pretty cool. Look at that. The validators all around the world. I love that. So you guys are part of that too. But confidence is high for the long term. You got to remember, we're only on day 54. And, of course, about to start day 55. And, of course, we're getting a lot of confidence coming into the Pulsechain system. People get it. People understand it. And it's going to be fun to see. Looking at the gas prices quickly, we're 3 cents for a Pulsex swap. That's really cheap at the moment. And, of course, we're 0.2 of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer and 0.8 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. So pretty crazy. Look at this, folks, at the moment. And you can thank Jack Levin for this because the vampire attack on the ETH chain there, Pulsechain is now 800 836 times cheaper than Ethereum at the moment. 836 times cheaper. Is that crazy or what? Let's go to money. Have a look at money at the moment, because this is just I didn't plan on talking about any of this, by the way. We've got 48 Gwei at the moment. 48 Gwei at the moment. And of course, look at the burn impact it's having on the old burn there. It's really starting to spike the burn. Is the old vampire attack there from Jack. But let's have a look at it on the chart here, because this is the last 7 days. Look at that. That's the Gwei base fees there for the last 7 days. Look at that. So nice and cheap. Not too bad for ending stakes on or making new stakes on Ethereum. But look at that. Then just this absolute spike up here, over 125 Gwei at the top of this little candle up here. And it came back down to about 38 Gwei. And then it just started rising back in the 50 Gweis. And now at the moment, sitting just below 50 at about 48 Gwei. So there we are. There we are on that one. Let's pull up Gets. Have we got the site there? We'll pull up the minting site for Jack's little VPM attack there. Just have a look at that while we're here. And let's log on. I don't know whether they've minted 100% yet. We'll see when this gas attack is over, because man, people are spending a lot on that. Let us connect up there. So we'll do that. Bam. 75%. So there's 25% still to go. So 75% has been minted out so far. So it's 81.6 million VMPX has been minted out of 108 million. Wow. So we're going to see that too. That's probably going to cost you a little bit there still. But of course, people are buying that on the market as well. We'll check that out a bit later. But the gas price is going to stay high. Well, there's 25% left to mint. These gas prices are still going to stay high. So you might have to wait till the weekend. By the weekend, it'll be fine. The VPMX will be minted out, and you will be able to do whatever you want on Pulsechain, on Ethereum there. It will come back. But at the moment, man, does it make Pulsechain look good at that? Look, 719x cheaper, 800x cheaper. So, hey, anytime something happens that's really big on the old ETH chain, like VPMX from Jack, or from an NFT market launch, NFT market launches, some crazy stuff happens on those too. The chain gets filled up. People price in and want to pay for that. So pretty crazy there as well for that. So awesome stuff happening on that front. Let's move on into the charts as well. So the charts at the moment, we've got a nice little green candle here starting. We've just started a new day, so that's 9 minutes old there, that candle there. You can see it right in there. And yesterday we had a nice little hammer. They'll probably be slightly more bullish on the upside. So we had a little doji hammer here, and we got up to 9,300. Today we're starting off at 9,170. So we'll look to hopefully bounce off there. That's still looking pretty good, that chart, isn't it? Still looking like we might get some support and hopefully get a move bouncing off this yellow support here. Now, Pulsechain is the one coin to rule them all. And so we're looking at this chart very carefully, and it's still looking pretty good as long as we bounce off this angle, upward angle here. We'll be watching that either today or tomorrow. Maybe day 55 is the day. And of course, we've just started day 55, this red candle here. Maybe day 55 is the day that we bounce off. Maybe that is the turning point. Maybe the rumors in the Discord are true. We will see. We will see. All right. So that is pretty critical. Maybe this is the critical day, this critical candle. I've certainly got that doji look pretty, is kind of bullish. Probably maybe a 60% bullish doji there. We'll see. But anyway, we've got Pulsex there. Still managed to hold the support line. Look at this. It's holding the support line here. I'll draw a little line here because it's kind of holding this, holding that line there. Look at that. So, yeah, 2,888, super cheap at the moment. But for how long? We will see. We will see there. A long way to go back to this yellow line at the top here. This yellow line at the top is the sacrifice price. So 250% gains, in my view, just sitting there. And you just got to have patience. That's it. Have patience. And there we are. That could be a huge reward at the very least. And then, of course, above that, you're getting into some extra returns for the old incentive. Now, looking at the incentive token, we've got the ratio there. Yeah, it's cooled down a little bit there. Not as much as I thought, but it is still at 58,237. Has battled around this mark here as well, but still slowly sliding, but not as fast. Definitely the decrease, the rate of decrease is much slower than back here, but we've still got some minor decreases there, down 58,000 on the old ratio there. Moving to Hex on Pulsechain, looking pretty good too. Obviously, outdoing Pulse. There is Pulse there at the moment. There's Pulse. And look at Hex there outdoing it. And you can see all the patterns look similar. So you got the bottom liquidity. See the bottom liquidity there pattern? That's all looking pretty similar. But you got your ratio differences, right? Separating them out. And so Hex is looking more bullish. And yeah, way to go for Hex. Let's do the ratio to Pulsechain. Look at that. That is the trend against Pulse itself. So Hex is the one to rule them all. I said Pulsechain is the one to rule them all, but it appears that Hex is actually the one to rule them all at the moment. Of course, you got the yield on Hex as well. The only way you get the Pulse yield, of course, is you have to be a validator, right, at the moment. So hopefully we'll get delegating protocols in the future, but that is kind of where we are at the moment. 155 Pulse to 1 Hex. So Hex is looking strong, like a beastie boy there as well. So I hope you guys know who beastie boys are, but that's pretty much it. All right, so we've got Pulse Hex on Ethereum is at 00076. So weaker than on a Pulse chain, but certainly not the end of the world there. Let's pull up. I want to pull up the EHEX chart, so let's do that. I haven't managed to pull those up before the live stream, so I have to do it manually now. And I'm going to get into the comments in a second. So let's go to the comments and let me get into Pulsechain and go to the EHEX charts. There we are. So that is the EHEX chart there. And let's get the price in Hex. Look at that, 53. So that is the price in Hex there. That yellow line is parity for Hex, EHEX and PHEX parity. But look at that. Pulse Hex is definitely winning the game at the moment. Yeah, pretty 86% increase to get to parity. So EHEX needs the rise in price, relatively speaking, 86% to get to the parity price of 1 to 1. But hey, look, big whale comes in here, smaller liquidity. And of course, a bigger whale comes in here and can close that gap up pretty fast. And it's sort of more self-fulfilling, isn't it, in that way, on the old EHEX. So we were watching out for that. With the small liquidity, you can do that. So we'll see where the heads. It could all happen like that in a snap, bam. So we'll see. All right, that is happening now. Let's get into the comments. We're going to get into the chats in a second, but let's get into, we're going to pull up all the different, let me just go back to the actual selections. I've got to go through all the different price categories I got. So let's have a quick look at the VPMX, since I was going to talk about that quickly. What's the price for that at the moment? 6.2 cents on the old Ethereum there. 6.2 cents. This is a quick reference there. That is the price there on that. You can see the hourly chart there. That's the hourly chart. Got down to about 5 cents now at 6.2. And that's reflective, of course, that the Gwei's around 48 or so. But you might probably getting it slightly cheaper on the market, to be honest. We'll see. Now, remember, there's also the VPMX on the Bitcoin channel, so we'll see how that goes too. So, all right, let's jump over to Pulsechain though. What else there? Pulsechain. Yeah, we've got actually, before we talk about Pulsechain, we've got PZN on Pulsechain, and that's ticking away okay, I think. Pretty small liquidity pools, but it's ticking away at 702811. And of course, they've got DXN, their biggest, most successful project, launching probably in October on Pulsechain. So more projects coming to Pulsechain. Pulsechain is growing fast, and Zen's going to play its role there as well. So cool. What else have we got going in there? Top PRC ERC 20s. Let's go to that and see who's the best of the town today. I'm going to exclude OKB because the liquidity is only $518, so they're number one though. We've got Pepe there. It's got 166k. Pepe versus Pulse on V2, and let's have a look at that. So that is still looking pretty good there. And like I say, you know, some whales come in from Pulse that held Pepe. They sold that down, right? So we had the Pepe farms open up. We had a big rally, but we've got a higher low. Look at that higher low in there, and a lot of that Pepe's been redistributed to new people, Pulsicans, people that have come onto Pulsechain. So we'll be looking out for that too. Let's go to the daily chart to have a look at that. There's the daily chart. Let's log that as well, and auto log it because that's a bit of pain. So that is it. Looking much better, right? So you got to remember, priced up from 0 is the old Pepe. It now has a market value, right? It now has a market value. The chart is looking actually pretty good. It seems to have support at 1100. And of course, it has topped out at 12,240 with 6 zeros in front, and now is sitting at 3,300 with 7 zeros in front of it, but holding up quite nicely there at the moment. So looking good. All right, what else are we going to say? That is Pepe looking pretty good. Another one there. We've got everything else is down at the moment after having quite a bit of price discovery over the last 4 or 5 days in particular. Yeah, maybe 2 days ago in particular, it was pretty strong. We've got Lido in there at the moment, down only 1%. We've got Link there down 4%. Maker down 4% there as well. Uniswap down 5%. So pretty modest down days, to be honest. After decent price discovery there. Link, we got Uni there. Yeah, obviously we've got other pools in the house. We've got Wrap Bitcoin still. Let's have a look at Wrap Bitcoin. Wrap Bitcoin's gone down to the support line. I can't believe it, Brennan. Brennan, you're in the chat. That's definitely funny. Brennan's in the chat there, and of course you can see this has gone down to where we said $102. So will it bounce from here? This is where we thought that if it had a good chance of bouncing, it'd be at the 78.6 Fibonacci, and because it had a very strong upward ramp up here. Is this going to be close to the bounce off here? It may just spike through the $100 maybe for a brief moment and then take off. We're watching this one very, very closely here on the old Wrap Bitcoin. That's funny. That's funny. And that it's come down. This is on the 4-hourly chart, by the way. This is a 4-hourly chart, kind of like a trader's chart. And yeah, interesting times there. So let Brennan, let's see what you think. Yeah, Brennan's going, woo, nice. Nice there on the old Brennan one. Look at that. Woo-hoo. Looking pretty nice there. All right, so let's wrap Bitcoin. So yeah, we've got other ones there. Axis Infinity down there. We've got SHIB at the moment down 10%, but SHIB I think is looking pretty good too. I think SHIB's kind of looking. Look at that chart. There's kind of looking a little positive there. I'd like to see it keep moving on this this line here. This is a small liquidity pool. I've got the wrong pool up here. Let me go down. This is the pool I want. $120,000. That's the pool there at the moment on the SHIB. So that's still, even though it's hitting the yellow line, it's still looking a kind of good chart there. We'll be looking to see whether that can continue its momentum up there, maybe in this direction. So certainly challenging the support line here. But yeah, we'll definitely be looking for that as well. So Brendan, let us know in the chat there what you think about that. But I think SHIB's looking quite good. All right. And if we get a farm for SHIB, imagine that. Imagine we get a farm for SHIB. And let me go back here. We get a farm for SHIB, and man, you're sitting at this price, you get a farm for SHIB, and up you go. Man, that'd be pretty crazy. That'd be pretty cool. So that's what people are waiting for too, I think, sitting in there as well. But pretty neat. You got to remember, these things are priced from zero, right? And they've now got prices, and it's maybe only 10x, maybe 15x or 60x, depending on which one you're talking about, to parity with the ETH version. So it's going to be interesting to see that. Brendan says, looks like a V pattern is forming. Looks like a V pattern is forming for SHIB. All right, so that's pretty much that. Let's get back out. So we've got lots of others there that are around. We've got Floki in there, my list. We've got Immutable X, got Compound, we've got Aave down here, Ape Coin as well, Matic, and of course a few others there to look at. So lots of cool things happening on the top PRC20s. We're going to jump to the meme coins. So from the top ones there, meme coins there. The best performer is Ben as well. So Ben's performing pretty well on the old Pulsechain there. It's very volatile though. Look at that. So it's just bouncing off 2,800. It's been up around 8,400 with a few spikes up super high. But kind of in the middle at the moment is the old Ben there from Bitboy Ben. That's the copy on Pulsechain, of course. Dodge, of course, we talked about this yesterday from Jeff Kadakis. They got their meeting on Friday. Hey, look, it's decided to keep going. They got the Twitter space on Friday. We talked about that yesterday in the news update, and it's up and away there, 1,341. So interesting looking chart there. And of course, could have still got plenty of time to keep running up. Is that it's up 36% on the old Dodge, and it's not the car. I put DODGE on the title yesterday. I haven't changed it yet, but that's definitely in the place there. And of course, we talked about Pippi looking pretty good there. Now, the two ones that we're going to be talking about is which are down a little bit there, Pulse Dodge, and that is from the founder of 9inch, and that is just taking a breather after having a big run up. But of course, there's going to be a stealth launch for the 9inch DEX, and of course, they're waiting for that to launch at the moment. Just under 1.3 cents at the moment on this. So we'll be watching this one as well because it's going to have pools supported on 9inch and be up early. So this could have a nice sort of super run as well. We're watching for that. Obviously, the other token is Poor Pleb. And these are all got, modest liquidity at the moment, but they're going to be supercharged liquidity by the time that the pools launch on 9x because they're all going to be incentivized. And this is also bouncing off the 1,000 line here for Poor Pleb. So we may see that super pump on that too. So, yeah, people will clamor over to get that stuff, and liquidity will change pretty fast as well. So they're going to be, obviously, 9inch going to have pools and incentives, so the BBC token incentive there, and, of course, the 9inch token. So there's at least 4 tokens running in an ecosystem. So food for thought there. Right, that is pretty much it on the meme coins. Let's jump over to the what's the last? We got another category. What is it? Pulsechain projects. Oh, how could I forget that? All right, Pulsechain projects. We've got best performer at the moment is the Coast team, but that's got pretty small liquidity at number one, up 22%, only a 1,000 liquidity, so it's not worth talking about too much. We got this floppy slippers for Somi, I think it is 3,800. I'm not sure if that who launched that thing, but I keep away from stuff like that. We got Pulse Reflections, which is the probably the first real team with the proper liquidity here. It is up 15% with 26k liquidity on Pulse Reflections. Obviously, Reflections token there. And what else there? Well, let's go through the bigger liquidity. PHUX there, the fork of Balancer. Yeah, so PHUX is obviously operating. We got Daytona Finance, PHUX, and of course the Beetroot Privacy Hub, kind of the middle-sized projects that are launched so far. Although PHUX has potential to be much bigger with the right adoption. What else? We've got Fiat in there. We're waiting for the launch of Fiat. That is up 1% as well. So liquidity is pretty small in that. We're waiting for the launch of that. It's got 30k liquidity and the old Fiat Pulse one there. So we're waiting for that launch. That would be really big. That's a fork of Aave, right? So we're waiting for that to launch. And that's probably going to be a month 3. They'll probably need oracles just like all the other protocols. So Liquid Loans is the one launching the oracle, Fetch Oracle. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, you're going to be able to get paid to be an Oracle reporter with the old Liquid Loans. So lots of opportunities coming up in month 3. Month 3 could be insane, folks. Honestly, maybe 55. Maybe day 55 is the pivot point. Could be pretty crazy. We've got Tony there as well. Daytona Finance holding up there. One of the big pool parties there that's holding up. Pretty even today is the old Tony one. Let's have a look at the price. It's got one of the biggest liquidity pools. Man, the run up. Look at that. And then pull back down. Surely it's got to run out now. Surely it's a buy entry at this stage. Certainly yesterday it was a day of indecision. Look at that sort of candle indecision. But today it's sitting at just under 9 cents. We were watching that one. That's probably a good potential buy entry. Obviously not financial advice. Do your own due diligence, all that good stuff. But definitely looking pretty good there after the big pullback. That's Tony. We've got Trust Swap from Jeff Gadakis as well. Is related to that Dodge meme coin. And they've got their meeting on Friday. That's started to have a bit of a price recovery, sitting at 1.3 cents at the moment on that. And you can compare that to the ETH price on Ethereum, but that's started to recover there as well. You can sort of see back here on the daily, it got up to like 4.5% and is down at 1.3 at the moment. So could be a nice little run on that before the Twitter space, maybe. I don't know. We got Beetroot as well in there with the big liquidity, 233,000. And of course, Beetroot Privacy Hub there. Is at 0002488 on the price with 3 zeros. And of course, that's cooled off a lot as well. Had obviously super run up and then has just so cooled off. And this probably maybe a reasonable entry point. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But definitely one to watch there on the old Beetroot Privacy Hub. They got more to come, as I understand it too. More to come in their ecosystem. And that is the only way, as far as I know, that you can do privacy transactions that actually works. That actually works if you want to do privacy transactions from Pulsechain. So remember that. All right, Tetra, of course. This protocol is going to be pretty unique. If you've ever used Blender 3D artwork, well, they're bringing that node technology to Pulsechain, but instead of doing 3D artwork, you're going to be doing directly interacting with the contracts code on the Pulsechain, but without having to be a coder, which is pretty cool. You have to have a bit of intuition about it, but apart from that, you don't have to be a coder, and you can set up all sorts of things, I guess, like limit orders and things like that. So it's pretty cool. You got 000635 at the moment, waiting for them to launch as well, but they got pretty nice liquidity there, 284,000. Of course, they had an airdrop, right? Yeah, I think they had the airdrop for that. So, yep. Texan token sitting back down there at 4.5%. We got Pulse Kitten down here. We talked about that with the NFT marketplaces. That's NFT DeFi, just cooling off there. And of course, we've got Time Token from Internet Money as well. Time there. I was supposed to find the other liquidity pair, but I haven't found it. I need to go find it because I'm missing it. So we'll find that one day. All right, that's pretty much on the Pulsechain projects. I think we've covered it off. So we've covered off the Richard Hart tokens. We've covered off the top PRC 20s. We've covered off the top meme coins, and we've also covered off the Pulsechain projects. So cool there. We've got so much to talk about. And imagine month 3. There's going to be so many more big projects. It's going to be crazy. Talk about those. Let's get into Hex Daily Stats, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. We've got day 1311. Yeah, hot off the press. I don't have to wait for it this time. 5th of July. We got the Hex price there. It's 0076, down 1.8%. The payout, though, 6.6% exactly. Pretty nice day in the office. And a dot day in the share rate. Share rate is 28,113. Liquidity, average mine length, 7.04 years. 39% APY for the people that have already got T-shares. And, of course, liquidity pool, 210,000 there. 272K in liquidity. It's nice to see the actual liquidity going up, right? So we were down under 200,000. Now we're at 272. So that's a nice little move up there. And we've got Ethers up at 85 as well. And like I say, with this kind of liquidity pool, the EHEX, PHEX battle story, depending on which side you're on, it's not quite over yet in my view, because obviously with this is the Johnny Chaos view. If I remember, hopefully I'm saying it properly, but is that obviously small liquidity there that will power up to the right. It just takes someone to do it, really. Change the T-shares up 7,836. We're sitting just under 9.9 million T-shares in the Hex ownership pool on Ethereum. And jumping over to the locked percentage of coins, 9.39% of all Hex is locked at the moment. We had a pretty big day in the penalties, 1.3 million on the old Hex chain, on ETH chain. So it's pretty good. We've had another decrease in current holders, 11. So this pattern is definitely, in terms of adoption, is definitely being consistent with the less liquid holders. But miners, they're up 1 today. So we had a couple of days of negative miner numbers too. This is the opposite on the Pulsechain side, right? So Pulsechain is dominating on that side. But hey, look, we don't know how long this is going to last, whether it's going to be a constant trend or whether it's just a temporary trend at the moment. So 120,399 T-share miners, and we're up to 53 on total holders. So that is day 1,311 on Hex on ETH. But we also have that on Pulsechain. And of course, it is the end of day 54. So day 54 for Pulsechain. And of course, we're at 1.4 cents. So price dominating there, but still down 0.7%. The payout is even better than the Hex payout today, 6.646 Hex per T-share. So we must have a bit more penalties. Also a dot day in the share rate. The average mine length pretty similar to, just slightly higher than the Pulsechain, so than the Hex side on Pulsechain, 7.05 years, APY at 39.33%. We'll jump through the liquidity pools, get to the T-shares. T-shares are down 577, but we've got more T-shares than the ownership pool on the Pulsechain, 9,919,000. So about 20,000 difference between ETH chain and Pulsechain for the Hex T-share pool or ownership pool. What else we got to say? 9.42% of Hex is locked on the old Pulsechain. And look at that, we had 1.3 million penalties on the ETH chain. We've got 2.5 million penalties on the Pulsechain. So there we are. We've got more penalties there. Who knows what the people are doing there. But change in holders there, up 78 liquid. So definitely dominating on the liquid holders. And, of course, definitely dominating there on the T-share miners at the moment, up 11. So the trend is your friend, and the trend is favoring the Pulsechain side, which is not to be surprised. The only difference I would say is whether we get some whale momentum on the ETH side to close up some of that parity gap there. Current miners 122,424, and total holders up 138 to 570,483. So that is pretty much it for day 54 on Pulsechain, and we're now on day 1312 for Ethereum, and day 55, the magical day, is it, of Pulsechain, and we will see. By tomorrow, we'll be able to tell you all about it. But there we are. We got over 6.5 Hex on both chains, so not bad for dual Hex on the chain there. All right, let's go back to Hex on the Hex ratio here. That's the Hex ratio and Pulse. Let's go back. Should we get a Pulse? Let's go to Pulse here. Pulse here, 9,320. Nice little mini pump here on today. Is it really the pivot point today? Day 55. We will see. All right, let's come back into the chats there. Lots of comments, and I've had to cover everything there pretty consistently. We'll jump away. Not a lot of news today, but definitely the NFT marketplace there. Hocus Pocus is probably the highlight so far as well. But we're going to ramp it up. Let me just jump into some of these comments. I have to race through these. Race like a runner, like Flash Gordon. Not Flash Gordon, like Flash, the Flash. Although I like Flash Gordon a lot, especially on have you seen what's that beer one, the beer movie? Brian's just gifted out 5 Hex Token memberships, so definitely catch those, folks. 5 Hex Token memberships. We got Mark Johnson got one, Terry Doc's got one, Crypto BD got one, Cause FX, and Hex Dinner. So congratulations to all 5 of you for becoming Hex Token memberships. Don't forget to use the emojis in the live stream chats. Get onto that. And a big shout out to Brian, of course. Thanks very much for your huge support of the channel. And of course, Brian is also one of our 2 community leaders, along with KD in our chat. So big shout out. And if you'd like to get any help, if you want some help around the Pulsechain ecosystem or Hex in particular, get into our Discord and you can ask Brian and others there. They're very much happy to help. We do have a chat group in there. It's called Pulsechain Help. It can help you with any issues you might have there. So jump in there. The community also helps out as well. It's a pretty cool place to be. All right, Hexhog's in house there. Woo! Good to see Hexhog. Who else jumped in here? And, I'm speeding through this. Cleveland, Ohio. What's up, family? Good to see you, Cleveland. It's day 55, says Brennan. Yeah, Brennan, are you the one spreading this? Spreading the talk about that? Someone said that Rich Art was on a Twitter space talking about shaking out the weekends and day 55 moving up to the right. But I just don't know. It sounds so much like a rumor now that it's hard to know. But we're going to find out. We're on day 55 now. We just started it. We've got 24 hours of day 55. Let's see how we get on. Let's see how we get on here, day 55. So we'll be following that. It's part of fun anyway. Genuine says, good morning all. Good to see you, Genuine. Who else is in here? This is when I had some issues here. Just got up to that where I had some issues with the internet. Must have kicked out for like a minute or something. I was a bit worried there. Wookie says magic day 55. Says there's some believers in this. Let me know who actually heard the Twitter space with day 55 in it. But get in there, own up to it, and get in there, stand up like a man or a woman in the chat there, and tell us who was it. Because this is a no drama channel, so I guess rumors are related to the drama channel, although they're not quite the same. So we'll let ourselves off with that. Crypto compassionate with the hearts and the beaches, looking good. Brennan says we heard the Hocus Pocus talk. Says Brennan, nice. That was when my internet went down. Charity says, anyone heard anything from Mitchell? Well, I normally check them today, but I didn't get to check them. But nothing with it. We know they had the audit, so they've passed the audits. So they've got to be pretty close to launching there. I might do a session on NFT marketplaces leading up into before month 3 because they're going to be huge, right? They're going to be big protocols. So, apart from the farms, which have been a big deal, we've had medium-sized projects launched, generally speaking. There's been a few decent ones launched, but we've got the big ones. Month 3 is definitely going to be absolutely crazy on Pulsechain with these big protocols. And people that are early are going to be happy. Now, people you're on board are going to be happy because obviously they're going to provide lots of different utilities and valuations. So it's going to be pretty epic. That Pulsex burn, man, that's going to accelerate in month 3. Pulsex burn, Pulsex burn is going to be really fast. It's going to be crazy. What else? Let's jump in here. We've got a couple more comments. I'm just jumping through. So people are having chats in here. We've got John Neese as well. Added another Hex stake, even though I don't know what I'm doing, lol, says John. That's pretty funny, John. But if you do want some help with Hex stakes and things like that, get into the Discord. I know Brian and many others, genuine people like that will help you out. What else? You're doing the right thing, John. You're doing the right thing, John, says Brennan. All right. Right, let me move forward here. Jump through some of Wookie's humor there. I can see in the chat. Jumping through all those comments. Oh, they've got some little dialogue going on there. Let me jump through all those. Let me have a look here. Yeah, we'll jump through all that. We got through to Brennan's comments around SHIB. How far back am I? I'm 15 minutes behind in the chat. How about that? It's not too bad. John says, should I be buying PHEX? I've been adding to my PLS and PLS6 bags and have a small amount of EHEX with 6 stakes so far. Yeah, why not? You're earning a nice little yield on that. And it's performing pretty well. The old EHEX there, or PX is performing well. Accumulate we're in the accumulation time zone for Pulsechain. Brendan says, I would accumulate a percentage of all, says John. Yeah, Pulsex, Hex as well. Yeah. Incentive tokens, still question mark over the incentive token in the longer term. DCA for the win, says Charity. Sandy, yeah, absolutely. Christian says, sold my wrap Bitcoin. Maybe it was a wrong move or the right move, but I got a bunch of PLC for it. Well, I can't be too wrong with that, can you, Christian? There, but maybe, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether wrap Bitcoin bounces off that 78.6 Fibonacci and $100, $102. Sometimes they come, sometimes maybe dip slightly below. But yeah, I probably may very well bounce off. We'll see. Farm's still kicking away, and of course, what is value? What is value? Let me jump on here. Coming up to getting closer. Oh, I'm only 10 minutes behind the chat. Yay! 10 minutes behind. Sandy Beach says Tetra did their airdrop if you signed up for the claim, says Sandy Beach. Brendan says, this is you're starting to fight in the chat there now. We all know Brian's trades his ex behind the closed doors. Oh my goodness. What are you starting there, Brendan? You're starting there. What else we got going? Let's jump through that. Pineapple Love says, how's PX doing? Yeah, we covered that in full earlier in the live stream, but if we jump to PX, PX is doing pretty well. Look at that. Especially that's versus Pulsechain. It's up 155, so uptrend there, pretty strong. But in terms of price there, it's also doing pretty well. It's at 1.45 cents, and it looks like it's on an uptrend too. It looks about to break out to the upside. So I think that's looking good too. Is there the same number of holders as EHEX compared to PHEX? Well, we just talked about those stats in the chat there. When you mean by holders, I'm not sure what you mean by miners. I'm not sure if you mean miners there or liquid holders. So we've got liquid holders 329,000 on Ethereum, and we've got 330,000 holders on Pulsechain. So more on the Pulsechain there by, well, how much is that? By 1,200 more on liquid holders. Miners, we got 120,400 on ETH chain. We got 122,400. So what's that? 2,000 difference. So good question. That's the answer there. So Pulsechain definitely separating out there with the adoption. What else there? Pineapple Love says, I think Pulsex will be like 90% off, ready to buy then. Oh, really? Okay. So what do we got there? We got, let's do the, we got Pulse there, Pulsex. So let's do the ruler there, 90% off. I don't know where you're taking it from the top, I guess. 90% off. That's that's way down here. That's way down here. That's at 1,400. And we're at 2,900 at the moment. So you're that pessimistic we'll go down there. Well, we're all thinking hoping that day 55 is the bounce off point. So it's been managed to hold 2,700. We're at 2,000, almost 3,000 now. Yeah, we'll see how you go with that panel of, but definitely, I mean, it's not out of the ballpark, but yeah, we've already got a pretty decent pullback there at the moment already, which is currently around about 80%. So we've got 80% pullback. So 9% quite aggressive on the old pullback there. So 80 seems pretty good to me. What else? Let me jump through some of those comments. Discord is open. So if you guys want to join Discord, the link's in the video description. We're up in an hour and 3 minutes at the moment. Richard Levin says on day 555 Pulse will bump, says Richard there. So that's in year 2. What's that? Almost first quarter, is it, of year 2? Something like that. Acapella says, thanks for a great show as always, sir. You're welcome. We're just wrapping up things at the moment. All right, used to say about 52 weeks, shakeout week hands. That's true. That's true. It does take probably about a year to do that. Don't be afraid of my name. First time catch you live, says Kryptonite. That's funny, man. I'm afraid it's Kryptonite. All right, good to see you in the chat, by the way. Superman is the Oracle of Auckland, says Condor. Yeah. Auckland's a great place. Auckland's a great place. I'll go there sometime. We got Wookie in the house as well. Every time Super talks about day 55, we have 55 in the chat. Yeah, that's hilarious. We've got 56 at the moment. Yes, yesterday we had 55 too, and we had 55 today. There's 55 right now. Oh my gosh, you're right, Wookie. Man, that's 2 days in a row. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Wrap Bitcoin is moving, says Mecca. Really? Starting to move there on there. Let's see if we can pull that up. What's that on the top PRC 20s? Let's see whether it can move off the top there. I've got to make sure I'm in the right pair there. Wrap Bitcoin. Wrap Bitcoin. We'll go to Wrap Bitcoin Pulse maybe. $160. Yeah, I think a little bit of green there, a little bit of green. I'll be watching that on the old Wrap Bitcoin. How are we doing for time? An hour and 5 minutes. Pulse Hot List did their airdrop too. If you sacked, okay, cool. I did not aware of that one. I was going to check out Pulse Hot List today actually, which was funny that you mentioned that. So that's cool to know. So there we are. But the alpha there from Sandy Beach. No 55 days. Richard said it will take about 50 weeks to shake out the lasers or the losers who came for a quick profit. Okay, yeah. So that's back to the week there. That's you and Toxic Love there. I think are in cahoots, but an agreement I meant. These prices are good. We need a huge shakeout. I remember Rackham saying there would be. Says Kryptonite. Yeah, where is Rackham? That's the truth too. Where is Rackham? Now that's our Discord. If you want to jump into Discord to continue the conversation, we have obviously audio chats in there as well. You can jump into the audio chats and talk about crypto, and we have a social chat there as well. There's 2 different chats, but jump in there after the live stream. Very, very cool. And spread it around. Spread the community around. Discord is free. We've got all the information around the Pulsechain ecosystem. And, of course, we've got an amazing community in there, honestly. Best ever. We do have some principles of the channel so that we maintain that awesome community. And that is that we're a no drama channel. We try to do our best, and I think we do a pretty good job. We're a family channel, so we try to keep it nice family friendly with the language generally. Audio chats can get a little bit out of hand sometimes, but other than that, that's pretty good. And, of course, we're a freedom-loving channel. We love freedom. And, of course, we fight all the oppressors that are trying to take our rights away because we're not stupid people, right? We're not sheep. We are intelligent-looking. We're not foxes, but we're what are we? I don't know. Something. We're Gelflings. Are we Gelflings? Are we going to save the day with the old Gelflings there? I think so. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's wrap up the show. We're going to play out some music on the way out, as you guys love music, and I love music too. I will catch you guys all the same time tomorrow. I'm going to go on my walk, an hour and 15 minutes walk, and it is sunny outside, so hopefully it's going to be a fun walk. It'll be my 3rd day, day number 3. I've just about got to be consistent. Hour and 15 minutes should be pretty good. All right, take care, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Rock on, rock on, rock on, as we say.
Here in my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.